So our story begins looking over one of the biggest houses in Satan City. It's a calm, peaceful day in the abode that Son Gohan, Videl and their daughter Pan call home. But that peace will not last for long, as a mysterious pair calmly descend from the skies and land quietly on the neatly cut grass, and something is immediately off as a robotic clang is heard as their feet touch the ground. As we come to see a closer look at their appearance, we see mysteriously one numbered 1 and the other numbered 2, demonic eyes on both, as the other then coldly lets out, "So, this should be where we find Son Gohan's offspring, the one who murdered our dear brother, Cell." And from there it is finally revealed the duo are none other than the new androids Gamma 1 and 2, built by the genius scientist Dr. Hado for Red Pharmaceuticals, the new public face of what was once the Red Ribbon Army. They are more powerful than any of their artificial combat creations of the past, including Cell. Suddenly, Gamma 2 instinctively raises his hand up, ready to blow away the house and everyone inside it with a single beam of his energy. But Gamma 1 is alarmed, grabbing the other android's arm to stop him and reason with him. "Brother, stop. That wouldn't be any fun, would it? We'll dispose of him the way Cell would have wanted us to. A quick death would be far too forgiving for his kind." And for a moment, Gamma 2 considers his brother's words, before reluctantly agreeing with him and replying, "I suppose you're right." The pair of android super soldiers then slowly yet confidently make their approach towards the house, standing right outside watching on before knocking loudly on the front door, loud enough the vulnerable Videl and Pan inside are immediately alarmed. "Huh? Is Gohan back from training already? He only left an hour ago. That doesn't sound like him." Soon they hear another knock on the door. This time it's louder and far less patient. Whoever it is really doesn't appreciate her taking this long to answer. Not knowing who has arrived at the house, she whispers, "Maybe it's Dad and Mr. Boo? He usually calls first though. We'd better go check, Pan." Before cautiously walking over to their expensive door, but as Videl gets to the door handle, the Gamma androids impatiently make their arrival known and kick the door in. It slams into her face as she swerves to protect her daughter Pan. And while Pan is fine because of her quick actions, Videl lands on her back comfortably with the wind knocked out of her. "Ah, what the? Ouch, that really hurt. Whoever you are, you're paying for that door, you know." But despite not having a scratch on her, the young Pan bursts into tears as she spots two figures enter into the formerly peaceful Son Gohan residence. And it is of course the two androids, standing tall yet not immediately menacing or dangerous in their mannerism. Speaking surprisingly eloquently and calmly, Gamma 1 inquires, "Sorry my dear, would you by any chance know where I can find Son Gohan? We've come to collect a debt he owes us. We can sort out the damages for the door after." Videl, hearing this, thinks she understands the situation now, thinking her husband Gohan had just had some money issues that he kept from her. Something understandable as a breadwinner of the family. But with Videl's family background, it's no problem at all, as she replies, "Huh? A debt? Gohan is having money issues? How much does he owe? You know who I am, right? My father is a very rich man. He's the former world champion, Mr. Satan. Whatever it is, I can sort it out." Gamma 2 then glares at the young woman, not impressed with her response. Money is not what these two came here for, and he makes that clear as he replies, "I wouldn't make promises you can't keep, my dear. The debt is his life. For killing our brother Cell, Son Gohan will now die in return." "Huh? What What did you just say? Videl is understandably taken aback by the news that these two are related to that nightmare she saw on television all those years ago. The one, ironically, her father lied about defeating. Cell? And you've come to kill Gohan! She begins forcing herself to her feet with a serious look on her face. A feeling of determination and bravery, rarely seen since she had left high school, washes over her, as she realizes that she has to protect her Golden Warrior husband from a potential threat as well as their child. Well, if that's the case, you can just leave. I won't tell you where he is. I don't even know where he is right now. She stands her ground, unwavering and almost being reckless in the face of such terrifyingly strong warriors. As she did this, she quietly thought to herself that this was the sort of display that would probably make her mother-in-law Chi-Chi feel quite proud of her. She continues, and don't think about laying a hand on either of us. When Gohan finds out you made his daughter cry, you'll pay just like Cell did. Gamma 2, though, hearing this, isn't fazed by the mention of Cell, but instead rubs under his chin with a single finger, as a sinister idea comes to mind, and he says calmly, That little thing is Son Gohan's daughter, you say? That's interesting. Maybe we won't need to find Son Gohan ourselves, brother. We could just make him find us. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Gamma 1? Gamma 1, meanwhile, just has a dark and sinister smile on his face. It seems he doesn't even need to respond to let his brother know exactly how in tune their thoughts are. Before, in an instant, he uses his incredible speed to snatch baby Pan from the arms of her shocked mother in the blink of an eye, as Videl yells, Pan! And now holding little Pan in their arms, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 look far too pleased with themselves. It seems, if not Gohan, this is just as good a prize, as Gamma 1 begins. Well, that was like taking candy from a baby. You call yourself a mother? What a pathetic choice for a mate this Son Gohan made. Followed by Gamma 2 saying, Tell that murderer to come and find us in the next 24 hours, if he ever wants to see this little brat again. We'll be going now. And with that said, the pair then vanish instantly. No, wait! Videl, of course, left there in shock, almost petrified, feeling powerless and alone. Overcome with grief, she can only barely mutter her daughter's first name as a tear drops. Pan. Gohan! Feelings of rage and pain quickly then take over though, as she comes to terms with the terror of what has just happened in her own home, and she screams into the sky with tears flowing from her eyes in the hopes that somehow, somewhere, her husband will hear her and rush to her aid. A short amount of time eventually passes. Gohan is arriving on the flying Nimbus. He's obviously been training with his master Piccolo, as he is wearing the older fighter's memorable purple Namekian warrior outfit. A smile on his face as he arrives at home. He hops off the cloud and begins to reach his house. He's obviously had a good day, and he says to himself, That was a great day of training with Piccolo. I really think I'm starting to reach that potential Dad told me I had. As he lands, the smile and good mood he's in is even more clear as he continues, Gotta say though, I can't wait to eat. I'm absolutely starving. Just hope Videl can keep up with my new appetite now that I've started training again. Huh? But while at first he approached completely at ease, it's not long before Gohan's natural Saiyan instincts kick in and he realizes something is off, eventually noticing the damaged door. Wait a second, the door's open. It's not even on the hinge anymore. His eyes begin to dart around as he begins to detect any other anomalies, continuing, I can't sense any foreign energies around. Strange. The young half Saiyan slowly walks towards his residence with caution before looking around. Determined not to jump to the worst conclusion, he calls out for his wife. Videl? Honey, I'm home. But eerily, no voice calls back to him. No! Videl! Eventually, Gohan realizes that his worst fears might be true. His face drops to one filled with concern as he spots the love of his life unconscious on the floor of their home. He hasn't seen something like this since Videl fought Spopovich. Honey, are you okay? He speeds over as fast as he can, now holding his wife in his arms as he tenses up, panic in his voice as he realizes his daughter is also nowhere to be seen. Videl, what happened here? Where's Pan? I can't sense her energy anymore. At this point, Videl can barely open her eyes, the encounter with the Gamma androids from earlier clearly having taken its toll emotionally and physically on her. She manages to struggle through her pain and shock to speak to her husband and lets out, Gohan, they took her. They took Pan. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop them at all. Oh! Gohan tries his best to control his Saiyan half, his warrior's temper as the shock hits him. An almost primal rage he hasn't felt since his teens washes over him. What? Who would do that? Someone took my Pan? She's just a child. Is it someone from around here? Videl, realizing Gohan thinks this is just a neighborhood kidnapping, then manages to get more words out, despite her pain and anguish. No, Gohan. They weren't human. Androids. They said they were Cell's brothers. What? Suddenly, Gohan's memories of the deadly Cell games come trickling back to him, as the Half Saiyan realizes that the events of his youth have come back to haunt him once again. You're kidding! I didn't know Cell had brothers. Why now? I didn't even know there were other androids out there. Soon, Gohan somehow finds a way to calm himself. He helps Videl up from the ground and gives her the best comforting look that he can. Maybe it's an act, or maybe a newfound confidence has been found during his training. Listen, honey, you stay here. I'm going to get Pan back right now. Don't even worry about it. I'll be back before dinner if these guys are anything like Cell. Gohan then steps away from his wife, closing his eyes and trying to focus in on Pan's spirit. She had an incredible energy for a child of her age, so he knew he would be able to find her wherever she may be. It takes him a moment, but he locks onto his daughter's key. He'd know it anywhere. In an instant, he opens his eyes. They're serious, with the sort of look you'd usually see on the face of an angry Vegeta, not Gohan. The Half Saiyan has lit a fire within him and immediately flies off towards the would-be opponents at incredible speed, without saying another word. Meanwhile, as if clockwork, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 watch the skies, waiting for Gohan to arrive, and the pair are amused as he arrives just as they expected. Gamma 2 beginning, "Oh look brother, the murderer is here just as you said. You really are the better programmed of us two, aren't you?" As Gamma 1 replies, "Haha, I got the brains dear brother, but you got the brawn." But Gohan is in no joking manner, and lands instantly on the ground near them with enough force to break it, throwing chunks of rock and debris into the air all around. Gohan then stares intently, no blinking, saying coldly, "Where is she?" While Gamma 1 and 2 remain silent. Soon though, Gamma 1 approaches with a smirk and cracks his knuckles, confidently beginning, "So, you've finally arrived, Son Gohan. Your reputation precedes yourself, but allow me to introduce myself." "Shut it!" But Gohan instantly shuts him down, uninterested in spending even a second more away from his daughter. With rage, he immediately rushes in at the duo screaming, "Give me back my Pan!" As the two rush straight for each other, one full of rage and the other emotionless. Their fists clash for a massive impact. And it's not long before the fight picks up and the two trade blows as Gohan's second attack is blocked before suddenly Gamma 1 vanishes. Huh? But Gohan, with his wits about him, easily dodges. Gamma 1 though does not seem tilted, in fact laughing as he floats perfectly over the Saiyan. With a perfect technique, Gamma 1 then slams his leg right into the side of Gohan, immediately sending him flying to the ground for a huge crash. For a moment, it looks like Gohan may be out, but this newly trained Gohan is already back on his feet, albeit scuffed, seen among the rising smoke. Covered in scratches, Gohan maintains eye contact with the android and thinks, so, these guys aren't a joke then. I'm gonna have to deal with them just like I dealt with Cell. And immediately grabs and tosses his weighted cape, leaving it to crash on the ground in typical fashion. Before, without making a decibel of noise, the ground around Gohan begins to rumble and shake as Gohan's hair mysteriously begins to change color. And just like that, with his glasses taken off, blonde hair and covered in electricity, Gohan transforms straight into his Super Saiyan 2 form, just coldly saying, "It's time I finish this now. You two won't get away with this." As a result, both androids are left in shock, this power surprising them, but more so another detail as Gamma 2 says, "Brother, this is it. This is what he used to kill Cell. This super something." As Gamma 1 interrupts, "Super Saiyan 2, brother. Yes, it seems he finally means business." But as if now unfazed, the two become calm again, with now Gamma 2 joining the fight, cracking his knuckles saying, "Super Saiyan 2! I guess that means two of us can fight then. Let's get this over with. I don't want to keep Cell waiting any longer in hell." While Gohan stares back with intensity, ready to go full power against both androids at the same time, like an ironic callback to his future Gohan self. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag superhero in the comments down below. This battle has not come out in the movie yet, so if you have any ideas of how it should go down, let me know. But if you want to see more of this manga, you can support its sequel on Patreon for just $3, where you not only fund this manga, but also receive a ton of manga goodies shipped straight to your address. But until next video, guys, cheers.